All right, take 10, and we're back. The word exchange. We got Nathan Prieto in the house, and you already know these two guys.
You already know us.
You know us.
Thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you watch this podcast, if you're not subscribed.
Those guys that try to act all cool behind the camera, like, you already know who it is, you already know what it is. Like, no, I don't, but it's the first time I tune in.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested.
Rich Radio.
Who's that? I'm talking about Mike Valencia and them guys. You know Phil?
They have a podcast.
Oh, you never met Phil.
Do they?
They used to have a podcast. Phil, the dude that was...
Phil Gonzalez?
No. Remember when we went to Hawaii breakfast? The dude that was sitting in front of me that was talking
I know
to you?
Phil.
Oh, yeah,
bro.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
Phil.
That's Phil. He used to be a part of Rich Radio.
Oh, okay.
You met Phil?
Oh, really?
Yeah, you introduced me to him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
Oh,
about.
that's right. We went
Roman's
out to
friend.
eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, Phil.
Stephanie's guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So today I want to do something a little different. It's a specific topic that many have been hunted down and murdered for talking about. At least that's what they say.
Here you go.
Conspiracy theories. I think at one point in our lives we all kind of given a little. Sorry guys, sorry for David. We've all given a little ear towards conspiracies. They're exciting to hear about. They're almost like, no way. It's like you're hearing a dirty little secret about the government or something. But some of them are actually real, and so.
We're going to get to the bottom of this.
We're going to get to the bottom of it, all of it. It's all going to come out.
Because we know we have all the answers.
We have them. There's a little black book somewhere. Right there.
Right here. We have all the answers.
We have all the answers.
It's called The Second Coming of the New Age by Stephen Bancars and Josh Peck. You can order your copy online today or tomorrow. Doesn't really matter. But anyways, dude, really quick, your mom used to work...
What?
She used to work. That's used to me. What are you talking about his mama for?
No, your mom used to work at the Pima College where I used to go a long time ago. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
And I remember one time, dude, your mom got me a backpack because she would always see me.
I don't know.
Is he just making up stories?
I don't know. I don't remember. He's going to think of the same story, just a different item. That's what you're going to do.
Oh, no.
I don't
You're so
remember
stupid,
backpack.
You're so stupid.
Pretty sure you carried a pencil.
Oh, my
Yeah, I
God.
found out quick to that.
See, we had take one, and then the cameras died.
Are they still
And
going?
it wasn't scripted.
Take
So-
one, it was good to go.
So we'll just catch you up. So basically what happened was he had walked up to me in church one time, a long time ago, and he randomly gave me a blue tie. Do you remember that? Do you remember it? No, I'm serious.
No, not really.
You don't remember that?
Not really.
That must have been like, I want to say maybe almost 20 years ago, dude. Wow.
Dang.
You were a little kid. Yeah. You walked up to me and you gave me a blue tie. And you're like, here, we got this for you.
Like that?
And then, well, his little kid voice, He didn't sound like a man back then. Here, we got this for you. I was like, for what? I don't know. I was like, cool, thanks. But I was going through my stuff earlier in the week at this old box, and I found this tie, and it was green, but I remember it being blue. But maybe just with time, maybe it just faded. That's what it is. But I was thinking it was the Mandela effect. But that's what we were talking about. Was the
It
Mandela?
faded to a whole different color.
So the Mandela effect. The reason why they call it the Mandela effect was because a lot of people have this memory of Nelson Mandela when he was locked up in the 1980s when he was in prison. They have this memory of him dying in the 1980s and that he never got out of prison and ended up becoming the president of what country?
South Africa.
South Africa. No, but what country in South Africa?
South Africa.
South Africa is the country.
Oh,
That's
really?
the name of the country, huh?
Oh, okay.
It's South Africa and Southern Africa.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Wow, I feel like
It's all good.
Nah, no way.
I feel like an idiot now. Anyway, so
You're good.
so there's a lot of stuff that people say about the Mandela effect that has changed. Like people remember the cereal Captain Crunch being spelled out with the word Captain Crunch not how it is now, CAP''N, Cap'n Crunch. But if you look it up, it's always been Cap'n Crunch. Same thing with Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops used to be spelled out fruit, Fruit, and now it's just FROOT, and the 2 O's are the Fruit Loops.
The Berenstain Bears, the way it was spelled out too. What was the other one?
So it's mainly letters?
Well, it's just a bunch of little details that people
Kit
remember. Yeah, the Kit Kat, there was a hyphen there before.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Is it not there?
No.
It's never been there.
Oh.
It's never been there.
Has it?
So Satan is a liar.
But if you look back, you look it up on Google, you will not find it. There was never a hyphen there. Another thing was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. We all remember it a certain way. Dun, 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 dun. But when you look it up, it's a little bit different. And you're like, it still kind of sounds the same, but it's slightly
Born and
different.
raised. So if you guys have any Mandela effect that has happened to you, drop it in the comments. We'd like to hear about it.
So, a lot of people believe there's a theory that the Mandela effect was caused by CERN. You guys know about CERN, right?
Yeah. A little bit.
And
CERN is demonic. That's my take.
so CERN was basically what they did is they split an atom in half, and and by them doing that, it caused our universe to merge with a parallel universe, and that's why some of us have slightly different memories and others have other memories of certain things that have happened.
When did they do that? Or supposedly?
Well, there's not a specific date. When I heard about that, it was probably maybe like 2016, 2017.
So how long has CERN been around?
Oh, CERN's been around for like the 50s?
The
Yeah,
1950s?
Yeah.
1954. That's what it's called. It's called the something European research.
Yeah.
Forgot what the N word is with the N on the CERN. But terrible. Anyways,
The European Organization for Nuclear Research. It is one of the world's largest and most respected centers of scientific research.
I know, going back to where you said the Mandela effect, I remember you just made me think of me and my cousin back in the day. If any of you guys are Power Ranger fans out there,
Yep.
remember it was a big thing when the first Power Ranger movie came out. And it got to a part where they all start fighting, they fight, the monster gets big and they're in their big old robot.
Zord.
Megazord.
The Megazord. And the monster grabs his pole and swings it at the Megazord. And it was one of those big old signs with the KFC bucket on it. That's how we remember watching the movie in the movie theaters. Now, when it came out on video, we watched it again. But this time it's just some random, thing on top of a big old light post. And like, hey, remember in the movies it was a KFC bucket? And we swore up and down it was that. So I kind of think that's kind of the same thing. That's my own personal Mandela effect. Seeing one thing one way, and then you see another way. But at the same time, it's a movie, so it could.
Well, I guess that could explain, because sometimes you might share a story with someone, and you're like, and I remember this happened, and someone else goes, no, it didn't go down like that. It went down like this, and you guys are sitting there arguing, like, no, dude, because then after this happened, it was like this, and you're like, no, that did not happen. I was like, dude, how can you not remember?
Yeah.
So there. Another one is one of the most popular movie lines in history. Star Wars.
Luke, I am your father.
Yes, that's true.
But it never.
Have you heard that one?
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
So everyone remembers Luke, I am your father.
That's how I remembered it.
Uh-huh.
But he never says that. He just says,
I am
your
father.
No, I am your father.
Without the Luke at the beginning?
Without the Luke. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
But if you go back, because I have the original VHS from the 70s,
It does say that.
it says it the same way too. I am your father.
No way.
Dude, I'm serious. So there was this one, I don't know if you guys watched the one with Sinbad, where people were saying that Sinbad was in this movie called
Shazam?
Shazam.
No,
yeah,
that
did you
was
see
Shaq.
that one?
That's Shaq.
Shaq.
But yeah.
Shaq was in a movie called Kazam.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Shaq was in a movie called Kazam.
right.
Kazam.
But they were saying that Sinbad was in a movie called Shazam. And so all these people have these memories of the movie Shazam, and Sinbad got so irritated he finally went on YouTube and made a video, and he's like, you know what? That's right. I remember now. I remember it so vividly. I was smoking crack.
I did do Shazam. I'm not proud of it. When I did Shazam, I was doing a lot of crack. I was staying in crack houses, and I did Shazam for crack money. I knew it wasn't gonna be a great movie because I have no genie skills. I think most movies, you have to bring something out of yourself, and I've never been a genie or had magical powers. It was a learning process for me as I was doing this movie, just getting into the lamp. I took a lot of yoga, a lot of Crisco oil to slide up into that lamp. So, I injured myself. I had a rotator cuff injury, but I'm not crying. I'm not crying because I'm tough. For those who said, hey, you saw Shazam when I was growing up, yeah, you did. It did exist. It took a lot of government intervention to get those videos out of people's homes and out of the video stores. I'm lucky because I'm ex-military, ex-special forces. So we were able to do a lot of mind control stuff to get those videotapes away from people. There's 3 tapes left.
I was smoking a lot of crack. That's why I didn't remember it. That was around the time when I filmed the movie Shazam. But
Kazam was the one with the chocolate bars, right?
yeah, when the kid wishes candy bars from the sky.
I remember those movies, man. So CERN, I was doing some research on it, and the in and outs of the secret society I started thinking of a modern day Babylon. And then out of nowhere, I think a scientist that worked for CERN compared it to Babylon.
Yeah.
Like they intentionally want to be considered reaching, the spiritual realm, if you will, or another dimension.
So the purpose of it is to basically find the answers to the universe and breaking down the atoms
And how the universe, the Big Bang came to happen. And
right, exactly. And the machine, I guess it travels slightly below the speed of light, which means that we could do a lot with that when it comes to quantum physics, as far as traveling through time or opening a door to an alternate universe, alternate reality, another dimension, whatever. And there's this theory that the Luciferian priesthood, they are aware of how powerful this machine is, because in all of human history, this is the most powerful machine that has existed, as far as we know.
yeah.
Wow.
And I hear that they are aware of it, and they actually want to open up that portal, but they don't. I guess there's scientists that work at CERN that are completely not involved in that. They're oblivious. They're just workers. They're just workers.
Exactly.
They're just going doing their 9 to 5, doing their research. And the higher ups, the top, you're talking about, they have a different agenda.
And what they want to do is open a doorway which leads to another realm, which is the spirit realm, that will unleash the fallen angels that are currently the sons of God that were, what is that thing called? Where the ones that were coming down, the angels that were coming down and mating with the women, and they made the Nephilim. What is it called? Where they're where they're currently.
I know it talks about how some are chained underneath the Euphrates River.
Was it that?
And then one called Abaddon is chained in an island off the Persian Gulf.
Well, wherever they are,
yeah.
wherever they are.
So who's saying they're chained there?
The Luciferian. We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. But the Luciferian priesthood, they want to open this door to set these fallen angels free, so that they can come in and destroy the world and create a new world. And that's where the god of Shiva.
Yeah, they have a statue of the goddess of Shiva in their courtyard, and on the plaque,
She represents the goddess of destruction.
it literally says they want to destroy and recreate the world.
Yeah.
Why would people fund that? Who funds them, actually? Where do they get their
Who
funding?
knows, man?
The UN.
From the devil?
Probably people that serve the devil in high places that have money.
Did you guys see the video? Now, you can tell me if it's legit or not. Legitimate. It looked legit. The video of someone filming outside the window in the courtyard, and it had all of these people in cloaks,
Oh yeah.
and a
I've
girl
seen
in
that.
white in the middle, and they brought her before Shiva, and it looks like they stabbed her.
Yeah, it was a mock sacrifice for ritual reasons. I've seen that video.
This is for
yeah.
CERN.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
CERN.
at
yeah, for
CERN. Right in front of the statue.
And even the opening of CERN, when they reopened the Hydro Collider, whatever the heck it's called, they had like a big old ceremony, and they had like this goat god. Everyone's worshiping
Oh,
this
yeah,
thing and everything.
I
and
saw
it was a
that. The big
mixture
screen,
of,
right? With the
yeah,
big
it was
screen.
a big screen. And everything is just
Where's
the
this
agenda.
video?
Yeah, where is it going to? Why are they?
Where's this video at?
I don't know.
I'll put
think
in the link in the description.
Yeah, we'll have to look.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, dude.
Dang, man.
There's so much stuff, but it's crazy because it lines up with biblical prophecy.
Yeah.
You know, are you guys familiar with the Book of Enoch?
Yeah.
I did some research on it.
I
What do you-
actually read it.
All of it?
I read it through. I just I
It's
don't
a, it's
know
a,
if I
it's
don't
a
know if I
huge
can.
book. Yeah, it's like over 100 and some chapters. You read all of it?
I read it, but on my phone, but so I
Oh,
can't
okay.
remember all of it.
What about you?
I did some research today on it. I think it's I don't think it was pulled from the Bible at all. It's Antichrist. There's a part in there. It's anti-Messiah, if you will. There's a part in there where I was reading and it talks about Enoch meeting God, like going to heaven, standing before God and the angels, and they revealed to him who the Messiah was, because they talk about the Messiah and how he was going to perform miracles, like miracles in Isaiah, the prophecies from Isaiah and the book of David. So they're comparing all these prophecies, and when he stands before God and they reveal who the Messiah is, they say it's Enoch.
Oh wow.
And so it's like, wait, what? You know, how is Enoch the Messiah in this book? It wasn't part of the Bible, and even Jesus, he didn't teach it, included in the Old Testament.
So the thing about the Book of Enoch is certain fragments of the Book of Enoch, they align with what the Bible talks about and the history of the Bible. But then there's other stuff that's a little like,
Yeah.
So the Book of Enoch was also a mix of all these like writings, and they put it together as the Book of Enoch. So that's why the Book of Enoch didn't make it into the Bible, but it's still at the Vatican. But the part that I think aligns with the Bible, that I believe has some truth to it, is the part of where the angels came down
Yeah.
and they were mating with the women. Because in Genesis chapter 6, it talks about the sons of God were coming down to earth and mating with the daughters of man, right? And that's how they created giants, the race of the Nephilim.
Yeah.
Enoch, in the beginning, it picks up from there.
Yeah.
It picks up from there, but then it goes more in depth.
Yeah.
As telling you
So-
what these angels did. Like what they did is they taught these women about the plants, stuff that like forbidden knowledge that we didn't have about what the plants can do, being medicinal, about teaching us how to make swords, how to make weapons, about technology, about astrology, about other like alternate spiritualities and stuff like that. And so they taught these women all this stuff, which later on these women were considered to be witches because they came with something alternate. So in a way, if you think about it, going back to history, that kind of makes sense. Another thing about the Book of Enoch, where it talks about the Nephilim, they are embodied spirits. They are the evil spirits because God punished them because they weren't ever meant to be. And he said, these are going to be evil spirits that are just going to run around the earth. And they're stuck here. So in the Book of Enoch, it talks about that the Nephilims, that's who the demons are. In the Bible, it doesn't say that, but it does say that demons, it calls them evil spirits that go about
Fallen angels as well.
that go about like trying to possess a body. But the thing about angels is that angels have the ability to transform themselves into a physical body.
Yeah.
That's how the angels were able to mate with the human women, you know, and that, like Jesus has that body where he can be transformed. We're gonna have that heavenly body when we meet up with God in the clouds. You know, we're gonna be transformed. So angels have the ability to transform themselves into a physical body, but demons don't, because demons are embodied spirits, so they are constantly seeking a body to possess.
Yeah, that's like when with Legion, when Jesus was going to cast out the demons from Legion, he says, "Send us into the swine," because they needed to embody something living, because they can't control anything as a spirit.
Yeah.
They're wandering around, right, waiting for somebody to pretty much mess up. So
The Book of Enoch goes in depth with that.
Okay.
So I think, like I said, there's fragments. There's
Yeah.
certain things that
there's
might have some truth to
there's
it.
definitely some stuff in there that's beneficial,
Yeah.
but also you got to understand. I guess what I'm getting at is it's not inspired from God.
No, it's not.
It's inspired
No,
from
and
man.
I'm not saying it
yeah.
is. I'm
Yeah,
not
so
saying it
that
is.
I mean, but that's a conclusion I came to when I was doing my
Well,
study.
yeah, and,
so,
and if it was, it would have been included into the Bible.
Yeah.
And I feel like it didn't make it into the Bible because obviously it didn't really hold a lot of weight. Because
Right.
if you keep going with the Book of Enoch, where it starts talking about the end of times, and it almost sounds like the God that's in the Book of Enoch is a God that, like, this sounds demonic, bro.
Yeah.
Like a God that craves worship. That's thirsty for worship. And what does the Luciferian Bible teach? That Yahweh was this like worship thirsty
well,
freak.
yeah, it even said that.
And Lucifer was the good guy who went against God, and now Lucifer was trying to wake up mankind. It's crazy, bro. Like, you think about CERN, like it is a real thing. Like, that's not a conspiracy
Yeah.
theory. It's a real thing. Like, you can look it up online and you'll know where it's at. And it's
You see their logo?
that's another thing I was gonna
Their
say.
logo.
It's like these.
Let me show
three
them.
circles.
Look at the CERN logo, dude.
You're gonna trip out on this, bro. Have you seen it?
I have. I just maybe haven't paid too much attention
Okay,
to
let
it.
me show you, bro.
So yeah, so I guess to draw a conclusion, what we're talking about, if someone's still kind of trying to figure out,
wow. Looks like
fallen
3
angels and
sixes.
demons are
Show
two
'em.
different things.
That's
so.
the CERN logo, bro.
Show them, cause I'm not getting. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah,
It's a 6, another 6, and then another 6.
that's crazy.
What the heck is that? And then even the tunnel underground, or the what do they call it? The beast?
I don't know.
Well, yeah.
They call it the beast, right?
They call it the God particle.
The God particle.
Oh.
The God particle, it's the shape of it is like a ring, and there's another one underneath
Oh
it.
yeah.
And it also there's a demon that holds
a
onto
snake and
holds onto a
holds a
snake
ring.
and holds onto the ring, the same ring that is in the ground 300 feet down. Like little things that you put together, you're just like, dude, this place is
Wow,
just
I didn't know
evil.
And why is it so symbolic? And you know what's crazy too is that everything that's evil, dude, always ends up coming out to the light.
Yeah.
There's always like little hints, you know, it's true. Like everything that's in the dark will eventually come to the light.
Right.
It always happens like that. Like the thing with Pizzagate that you were
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about, how like this guy got caught because everything that he was posting, and he was trying to talk in code, but eventually people start to catch up. Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, this is kind of creepy.
Yeah, he posts multiple photos of kids on his Instagram.
Yeah.
And they're not his kids, and the parents aren't in the photos, and they're doing weird stuff, has crazy hashtags, and you link all the hashtags, and they're I don't even want to quote what the hashtags say, but it's very scary that you would think that our government is so closely tied to somebody like that. I mean, they said he visited the White House 5 times. I mean, even the average American will never visit the White House in their whole lifetime.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the Clintons also went and visited Epstein's Island.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did Trump.
Yeah. I recently I saw on TikTok actually, John Legend's wife.
Oh, Chrissy Teigen.
They're starting to come out with stuff that she's part of it as well.
Yeah, it
Part
talks
of
about
the,
how she
the
like
pedophilia.
likes eating babies and stuff. And
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Oh, did you hear about Tom Hanks? Well, they say that he killed somebody, or that somebody died because they were trying to out Tom Hanks. Did you hear about that one actor? He was in the movie Thor. His name was Cappy, he tweeted on Twitter saying that Tom Hanks was a pedophile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then they found his body on Route 66, apparent suicide, about a month later. And Tom Hanks posts a photo on Instagram of a glove in the dirt on Route 66, and it says roadkill.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was the caption. Roadkill, I think not. And that was it. And it's like, why would you post something saying that with a glove in the dirt on Route 66?
Evil, it always comes out to the
Yeah.
light, bro. It can't
And
stay hidden.
It can't. And guess what? You know Greece, right? In Greece, you're able to.
Yeah, it's a country.
In Greece, you're able to be a pedophile and not get legally punished for it.
Because it's considered a disability.
It's considered a disability.
Yeah.
Like
So him and his wife moved there, so
they're now citizens of Greece.
Yeah.
That's freaking disgusting.
They just announced it like a few weeks ago that they've become citizens of Greece.
You know, not. I don't know if this might sound a little stupid to some people, but if you look at like Greek culture throughout time,
Perverted.
yeah, it's always been like that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So the Romans as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very.
So,
So how does the cream of the crop, if you will? Everyone hears about it all the time. We see Jay-Z. We see Jim Carrey. You see Jim Carrey on Jimmy Kimmel when he was doing the triangle,
Oh, yeah,
sticking
he
his
was
tongue
doing that.
through it.
Yeah.
And he goes to Jim
mocking the
and Kimmel
Illuminati.
was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Come on, you know what I'm doing." He's like, "I don't know what you're doing." He's like, "Yes, you do. Everyone knows what I'm doing." He's like, "This is how you honor them." And he does it again and he starts sticking his tongue out. And then so Jimmy Kimmel starts doing it, trying to blend in and make it light.
Yeah.
It's the Illuminati.
you can see it in his face, though. He looks a little nervous.
Yeah. And Jim Carrey just didn't care.
Yeah.
I think he finally just like got sick of it, dude. Because there was a point where he just
Well, that's why he's
Snapped out of it.
blacklisted in Hollywood. Because you know, when you're going against the grain, you know, from what I've seen, things just stop. You don't see them in the limelight anymore. And with everything with this trafficking, I'm pretty I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Ashton Kutcher in a lot anymore.
I haven't seen him.
You know, because
Ever
of the
since he
whole-
started wanting to come against Pizzagate and all that,
Yeah.
you haven't seen him.
Well, he came out in the ranch. How old is that?
That's already a few years back.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Jim Carrey just came out in Sonic.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
But still nothing
It's
compared
not-
to his old
yeah,
movies.
it's nothing compared to the Jim Carrey we know and grow up
You
to
know,
love.
another
Yeah.
thing that I noticed too is that everyone that seems to go against the Illuminati,
Their careers go down.
their careers go down, but they get labeled as being crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like what's his name, Kanye West.
Uh-huh.
Like in the Christian world, like people already accepted him,
Mm-hmm.
but outside the Christian world, people are like, dude, he lost his mind.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
Same thing with Britney Spears when she shaved her head, and everybody was like, she lost her mind. Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle talked about that, where he's talking about Martin Lawrence. He's like, this guy was a tough dude. I grew up with him, and he's just running out of a building in Hollywood, talking about they're trying to kill me. He's like, and he looked terrified. He's like, there's some sick things going on in Hollywood, how they were trying to make him put on a dress. And Dave Chappelle was like, I don't need to put on a dress to be funny, man. Just give me a funny line, I'll say that. And they were making such a big deal of him putting on a dress. And
Was that for Big Mama's house?
no, Dave Chappelle was yeah, Big Mama's House. But if you notice it, he even brought that up. Big Mama's House, Madea, like all these black men that have been in comedy.
In order to make it big, they have to wear a dress.
They have to wear a
It's
dress
part of a
at
ritual.
some point of their career, yeah. And Dave Chappelle was like, he refused to do that. And when he began to rebel and his
That's why they shut down the Chappelle show.
They shut down the Chappelle show, and what did they say? That he went crazy. And he went to Africa. And all of a sudden, Dave Chappelle lost his mind, and he's crazy.
And then you see him on Netflix specials because Netflix is more like geared towards like just the people, right?
Yeah.
And he's normal,
Yeah.
right? He's normal. He's the Dave Chappelle we all know.
Well, he's back. He's back. He's a little different.
Yeah, it's different.
He is a little different. He's older.
He doesn't seem crazy though.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's a normal person.
Oh, okay,
He's
I see
not
what
crazy
you're
like they were trying to put him out to be.
Did you hear the conspiracy that that's
He was a
not
clone.
Dave Chappelle?
He's a clone. Yeah, I heard that one too.
Yeah, there's a possibly.
Remember when he got all swole?
Yeah,
You're like, that's not Dave Chappelle. That's a different.
Well, because even his face, there's even one with
they're
like
saying
Michael
his
Jordan
ears,
too.
his nose. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're saying that's why he.
You guys know Corey Feldman
Yeah.
Oh
from
yeah.
the Goonies?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was seeing an article. It's probably old, but he recently went on to GoFundMe or something like that,
Really?
Kickstarter, to start a fund for exposing the pedophilia in Hollywood.
Really? Wow.
And
Yeah, because he was part of it.
he says, I need $10 million to make this film.
I mean, he was a victim.
He was
Yeah.
a victim of it.
Sorry.
No, I need $10 million to fund this film in order to expose these people. And so he goes on to Good Morning America, and you know that I forgot the reporter's name. He's the bald guy that recently got.
Yeah, the sad thing about this pedophilia rings and all this stuff that we've been hearing about, it's been going on for who knows how long. And no one does anything about it. And everyone thinks everyone in Hollywood, in order to be a Hollywood star, you got to do all this,
Matt
do
Lauer.
this, do that. And it's
It's
evil.
Yeah, the thing is-
they crave power, so they willingly will look at what they would do.
And the thing is, like
guy right
David pointed. Oh yeah.
Matt Lauer. Is that how you say his name?
Let me see.
Matt L-A-U-R.
Matt Lauer.
Matt Lauer.
He used to be on the what is it called? Today Show, Good Morning America, something like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Corey Feldman was talking to him, and Matt Lauer was essentially trying to shut him down as he was trying to reveal. He says, I have all these names. I have these people that are completely guilty of doing this. He's like, why don't you go to the police instead of trying to make a film about it? He's like, I went to the police, and they're not doing anything about it. He's like, why don't you go now that, you're bringing it up again. He just kept trying to like say, you could solve it yourself. Just why are you trying to get money from all these people? Why do you need 10 million? He's like, well, I need it for the attorneys because they're going to try to sue me as soon as I just coming out with all this information. And he tells him, he's like, well, why don't you go now? He's all, well, because the statute of limitations in California, they don't apply in New York, they don't apply anywhere else, but only in California, where Hollywood is the biggest place. Like, they're covering their own butts. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be in an entanglement.
Yeah.
I mean, Jada and Will.
Wow.
No, but seriously though, like they're
I didn't really
like
brush up
couple
on that.
swinging and
What-
stuff like that.
They broke up, right? That's what I heard.
They were separated, but you're still legally married.
They were still married?
They sat down in front of the whole country and basically talked out their issues and confessed to each other what they did and how she told him she was in an entanglement with, was it a rapper? Who was he?
Yeah. August Alsina.
Oh, okay. I don't know about today's rappers.
He's
So-
like a one-hit wonder.
So,
Okay.
do they say
They were
Will
one-hit
Smith is
wonder.
part of the Illuminati?
Have you heard anything like that?
Who?
Will Smith?
No, I haven't heard anything of it.
I know.
So
that
what
he was one
what
of
is
the
what
names
is
for-
Illuminati? I don't really know too much about it. I just know the symbols that some artists throw up randomly, and I'm just like,
That's a secret society.
So initially it
Kind of.
was like this fraternity, right? That came out like I don't know how many centuries
1300s,
ago. Yeah. And
The modern day. Yeah.
and it was something evil, but according to, because it was on I think it was a History Channel, where they said that it ended up dying out, but people still would talk about it like if it was real. But you could probably break that
It
down.
got
Yeah.
revived in the 1700s, didn't it, by the German Weishaupt?
Weishaupt, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Weishaupt. They actually kind of, the modern day supposedly Illuminati was started in a pub or a bar named a guy named Adam Weishaupt, and their biggest thing was to control. They were, I think, in Bavaria, so like southern Germany, to control the politics. So a bunch of people would come together, and they would talk at the pub like, "Oh, we need to do this. So what are you gonna do to do that? Okay, I can do this. You do this for me, I'll do this for you." And that's how it kind of started. It was kind of just something small. It was like a secret society because no one knew about it. And like you said, it was a fraternity, and it was like I'm not too sure, maybe like a mayor, maybe like the chief of police, maybe so, just to keep their politics in order. And that's kind of where I heard that where it kind of started.
Okay.
But modern day, I think now what has become is, as humans, we become evil, and we are evil, but we become more hungry for power. And I think it became more of an elite thing where you had money, so you're able to change this little police station and blah, 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 this. What more can you do to change this country? what more can you do to change the world, this continent, so forth, so forth.
So how have we corrupted, or how have they corrupted people
Yeah.
in the Illuminati?
Honestly, my thoughts on the Illuminati, especially then, was it was all about power. They wanted the most powers they possibly could. That means controlling people's what they consume, what they eat, who they kill, vice versa, something like that. But I think it became more inspired by spiritually inspired. So they obviously were trying to control. So my thoughts are, it wasn't God inspired, obviously, because they're trying to change everything. They're trying to control everything. Where we, as a society, we know God controls all, controls the weather, everything. So they wanted to do their own version of controlling of everything. So they did, and I think they decided to get into, which we know, witchcraft. It's a divine intervention. Doesn't necessarily mean it's God, because it's not.
Exactly. Is that one lady part of it? The one that does the spirit cookings with all these celebrities?
Miranda or whatever.
The one
Yeah.
with the blood, aura,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Is she part of that?
Blood
I don't know, but yeah, it's because they call it spirit cooking, and what that is that's for like the elite. So what they will do is it's disgusting, but they drink blood, supposedly semen and bodily fluids, for spiritual enlightenment and to be powerful.
And I've seen video of Will Ferrell, of all these like A-list celebrities sitting at the table with her, and they're just going to watch her.
And she's calling it art.
Yeah,
and
she's calling it cooking on top of that.
And another thing too, recently, who was it? Was it Bill? The money guy? No, the other guy.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates is releasing a new line, and she's on the commercial advertising for it. It's like a VR, a virtual reality, where they can put those on and see her in person, and kind of like I want to say be entertained by her, but it's like it's a new version of VR that Bill Gates is funding, and she's the spokesperson for it.
Wow.
What the heck is that? So it seems like she's tied up in all of the conspiracies as well. That's why I brought her up, and I kind of feel like she's like one of the top leaders, and it's crazy because it's so public, but still
no one does
people
nothing about it,
won't do nothing about it.
or they just choose to turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
And I guess it's kind of ridiculous for us to think this way, but it's like this world's it's fallen anyways. You know what I mean? There's very few that are going to live righteously and do the right thing and serve God. So it kind of makes sense, but it's scary to think that you're raising your kids in this world around these people. You know what I mean? And it almost makes you realize, like, hey, is it worth showing them these movies? Is it worth going to the movies and watching these people act? Is it worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, this is the devil's playground, bro, and we got evil spirits roaming around, around us right now everywhere, and it sucks, bro. It's like, and it's good. I mean, that goes to show you how good God is, that we're in the midst of this vomit because of our sin.
Yeah.
But God is still willing to stretch down his hand and pull us out.
Bro, if they can reach somebody like Kanye, you remember back in the day, Kanye was like a heavy hitter, almost like Jay-Z and all these other people. You felt like this dude will never...
Well, he called himself Jesus.
Yeah.
He thought he was Jesus.
Completely antichrist, dude.
Exactly.
Completely.
Yeah.
And it took a while for me to jump on board, but after, seeing his genuine, I believe...
testimony.
He really met with God and got saved. If he's still saved, I don't know. I mean, people backslide all the time. I don't know. But there was a genuine transformation, and if God can do that on him...
Yeah, exactly.
He can do that to any of these people. It's insane that the amount of people that are in leadership and they're demonic.
There's a lot of even upcoming artists. Like when there was a few years ago, I was really deep into the whole underground rap scene and the whole rap battle scene. Maybe about 10 years ago, and I was in that, and I was there with like other battle rappers who were like making it big and getting up there and stuff. And there was this one guy, he went, you guys can look him up, he went by the name of Cadillac Ron. And Cadillac Ron was signed to a label called Maquina Muerte that was based out of Tucson, because the main dude that found it is this guy named Isaiah Toothtaker. Have you ever heard of him?
Yes.
So
Tattoo,
Isaiah,
he has a tattoo shop.
he
Used to. Staring
Yeah,
without
he
caring.
used to,
Yeah,
mhm.
in Tucson. Yeah.
He had a tattoo shop
This
there.
tattoo shop that I've heard of, or
I don't know.
Staring
It,
without caring. It was like downtown.
it was right there on
like,
6th.
Yeah.
Staring without caring.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
So
It wasn't
Isaiah
too long.
Toothtaker had this reputation, right? And it was more so in like
such
the
a stupid name.
dude. Well, check this out. Let me tell you.
He's
this
an
story.
interesting character.
He is,
Yeah,
yeah. He calls himself part of the Illuminati thug mafia.
Yeah.
Oh my
He would claim that,
gosh.
yeah. So he is an interesting character. So this dude blew up in LA because of Murs. You know who Murs
Yes.
is? So Murs was a rapper from a group called the Visionaries.
Yep.
From LA, but Murs lived out here in Tucson,
Tucson.
for a while.
Yeah.
And I remember running into Murs at this place called Vaudeville. Do you remember Vaudeville
Yeah, I
on
do
Congress?
remember Vaudeville.
And that's where all the underground rappers would go perform and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was always in there. And I would see Murs, and I'd see Isaiah Toothtaker and Sean Harris. and shout out to Sean Harris and Big Meridox, if they ever watch this.
Shout out to Shawn Mendes.
Run from Jiving Scientists. Like, these are like...
Driving
Shout out to
scientist.
Shawn
You heard of them?
Man, yes.
These are like dope MCs from Tucson, bro. Like, Tucson had a good establishment when it came to the community of MCs, and so I was in that scene. But I remember Citrus said to me one time, he said, I actually have a friend who Isaiah Toothtaker took one of his teeth. And so he told me the story on how Isaiah Toothtaker and some of his friends, like, they had some pliers and they took out his tooth. So, like, when I would go to rap shows and stuff, I remember the first time I saw Isaiah Toothtaker, I remember I was looking at him, and one of my friends goes, yeah, dude, F you. I'm putting F you on blast. F you was like, yeah, dude. Oh, and his name was F you, like EPHEWE.
Well, you got creative with it.
Yeah, that was his rapper name, F you. Yeah.
Oh crap.
He was part of my crew too.
Oh god.
So
it was a weird time.
So F you, he was like, he's this short Mexican dude. He has this thick mustache. Like, he likes to do the
Like your homie?
handlebar. No, he's like
never mind.
short Mexican dude, thick mustache, but he's like the whitest guy you'll ever meet. So he's like, yeah, dude. And he's a rapper. That's his Toothtaker. And I didn't know who he was at the time. That's how he
way.
talks too. He sounds just like that.
That's funny.
He's like, that's Isaiah Toothtaker. I'm like, who? The guy you're staring at. And I'm like, okay, who is that? You don't know who Isaiah Toothtaker is? You never heard of McKean Workday?
Look at him work day.
What? McKean Workday, man. You never heard of McKean Workday? I'm like, no. And I'm looking at him, and he stands right in front of me, and he goes, dude, stop staring at him. And I'm like, what, dude? He's like, he's crazy, bro. And then this other dude comes up, and he's like, hey, I was hoping that maybe one of you guys can go up to him and say hi to him, just so he knows who we are and that we're here and stuff. And then he looks at me, and he goes, but not you. I was like, what? You just have that look like you want to fight. He's like, not you. He's like, you. And so FU's the one that went over there, and I saw FU in the distance, like, trying to get to him, and he's like so short, and there's all kinds of people talking to Isaiah Toothtaker. And then finally FU like manages to like get through the crowd and talk to him. But that was it. And I would bump into, like, I would run into him downtown, like I'd be walking and see Isaiah Toothtaker and stuff. But if you listen to his music, it's very violent. It's like where he like glorifies torture and like death. It's very like
Satanic.
it is. It's very satanic, dude. So being around this guy, you hear all these stories that Isaiah Toothtaker is crazy and all this stuff. And I'm from the hood, dude. And like growing up on the streets, like I never heard of Isaiah Toothtaker. So to me, it was like, I ain't afraid of this dude, you know. But every other rapper was like, didn't want to step on his toes. Like, whoa, don't mess with that dude. And so yeah, so he had teeth. But you can look him up online, Isaiah Toothtaker. He's from Tucson. He has Tucson tattooed across his neck right here.
Oh god.
As far as his artwork, like his tattoos, he's really good. Yeah. And he's actually done a few podcasts too where they interview him. He's a smart guy, dude. He is a smart guy. Like, you listen to him talk and stuff, he's a very smart dude. As far as business goes, like, obviously the dude, he knows about business.
So
Is there anything like above the Illuminati that would be a little more like?
Well, yeah, there is actually. Well, they say that Illuminati, the Freemasons, the Teutonic Order, not Teutonic, Templars, which what the Freemasons branched out from, all comes from a branch of the Catholic Church called the Jesuits. Which you got Jesuits, Franciscans, Dominicans. Forgot the other ones, but anyways, Gregorians. But the Jesuits are a main branch. They were one of the first ones, and they are also called the Society of Jesus. And their leader is the Black Pope, which a lot of people don't know about. But this guy is from, you look this stuff up, and he's the one that's orchestrating everything. He's the one that's basically the one that, manages all this. He's the one that's put the people that started the Freemasons, the Illuminati, and all into play, all in this big new world order plan. And I believe I was telling Miguel a story earlier that it gets to the point where the Jesuits started off just being missionaries like every other Catholic branch back in the day. They would send missionaries to different countries to preach the gospel, spread the word of Jesus and all that. And I say it vaguely because, it was just, it started off that way, but it soon got twisted along the way. I believe it was the 1500s that it got twisted. But anyways, in the 1600s, the story goes that the Jesuits sent missionaries to Japan. A lot of them were persecuted. I don't think any of them made it. So, that left a bad taste in the Jesuits' mouth. They were trying to do God's work and they got killed for it, just like many people have in different countries. Well, how the Jesuits have people in power, they have people joining, the Rockefellers, I forget the group in England, the Rothschild, and all these people. They have, they have their hand in different companies, big time companies, you name it, a Boeing, Raytheon, you name it. So I touch on Boeing because one of these Jesuits became one of the top guys in Boeing. Mm-hmm. So it's what happened was during World War II. Of course, we dropped the Fat Man and Little Boy, the two bombs that we dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Mm-hmm. Now, the plane that dropped those bombs was a Boeing plane. So, in a way, the Jesuits got their revenge for what happened about 350 years in the past. Mm. A Jesuit being part of Boeing, purposely managed to get those two bombs on one of his airplanes to drop the bombs. Basically, it was vengeance for what happened when their missionaries were killed, years prior. And that's how heavy this is, I mean, there's more info.
So that's the conspiracy.
The conspiracy is that the leader, the Black Pope, is the one that manages his Jesuit groups, and from the Jesuits, you got the branching off of the Illuminati, the Freemasons, Rosicrucians, everything, and you got all these people in big business that are all part of it one way or another through maybe a subdivision of a group, but it all ties back. Like I said, in England, Rothschild control, and in America, Rockefeller control, and all these guys are all part of some kind of a secret society, and they're all big money players.
As far as like Freemason, like Freemasonry goes, like I know a few Freemasons, that are, I wouldn't say they're like my close friends, but they're close to my family. And according to them, all of the conspiracy theories of Freemasons and all the bad stuff that they say about them, they say it's not true. So I began to do a lot of research on the Freemasons a few years back because I was considering becoming a Freemason, because everything that they stood for, which seems to be very positive. Like they have the Shriners hospitals where they help out the kids with disabilities. Their motto is making good men better men. And so basically, if you want to go to school, if you want to go to college, if you need help financially, they will give you a hand and they will loan you the money. They will help you out to get to where you want to be. Have you noticed, like, every Freemason is a powerful person, so they will get you to where you want to be, with the condition that when you're in a good place, you help out another brother when he's in need. You know, so
far that sounds cool.
So the Freemasons, it's a brotherhood of making good men better men, and they have.
So where's the devil and all that come in?
So I remember this one dude invited me to go to a Freemason lodge, and when you get an invitation, that's basically means that you're being considered to become a member.
Yeah.
And I already knew that at the time, so I was a little excited, but I started doing some research, and the rituals that they do when you become a Freemason is you have to put on this blindfold, and you have to repeat all these words, and you have to renounce everything that's evil by saying, I'm coming out of the dark and I'm coming into the light. And you're like, but who are you praying to? And if you're already a Christian, how would you be coming out of the dark? You know, and I just began to like, they pray to the supreme architect. You cannot become a Freemason if you don't believe in a higher power. So it doesn't matter what God you believe in, you have to believe in a God. And the G in the Freemason symbol represents God. So, but most Freemasons that you meet are third degree Freemasons, which is a Master Mason, which is your average Freemason. But they say that once you go up certain levels, like the 32nd degree, according to the Freemasons, is the highest one, and there is no 33rd degree, but that's the secret one. Mm-hmm. That once you become a 33rd degree Freemason, then that's when you become a Luciferian, and that's when they remove the veil, and you're able to see how completely demonic and stuff. So a lot of the Freemasons that I know, they'll laugh at that and they'll be like, dude, it's not even like that, bro. There's Freemason lodges everywhere. Like even the school that my kids go to is the building is a Freemason building.
So no regular person is allowed to go in there, right?
No, you can. If you're curious, you can go in there and they'll give you a tour. We should do that. No, I'm serious. Like that would be kind of cool just to go see like what they say and stuff. They give you a tour.
We should document the whole thing and not tell them.
Yeah.
Have little cameras right here.
So,
hey, tell them to drop a comment or a like if you want us to go in and document and let you know.
So if you guys want us to go into a Freemason lodge here in Tucson and kind of give a little secret tour, like they won't know that we'll wear like some glasses with a camera, so we'll figure it out. But if you guys would like us to go into a Freemason lodge and give you guys a little tour, and go ahead and drop a like and a comment and share this with your friends.
But do it and say yes.
And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. No, but
We're gonna wear GoPros in our beards.
Oh gosh.
No, but so I remember talking to Pastor Frank Bravo about what he thought about Freemasonry, because that was around that time when I was considering it. And this, I want to say this was like maybe 2016. And I sent him a text and I said, hey Frank, what do you think about, you remember Frank Bravo, right?
Yeah.
I was like, what do you think about the Freemasons? He's like, I don't know too much about them. I said, well, I'm considering, I was like, visiting a Freemason lodge. He's like, if you're already considering becoming a Freemason, then you've gone too far. But I wanted a real answer. I was like, well, what makes you say that? And he's like, I don't know too much about him. I was like, well, maybe people are just spreading rumors about Freemasonry, how people also spread rumors about how Christianity is this way and it's not. And then that's just where the conversation ended. He didn't want to argue. But I remember I didn't go. I just felt it, dude. Like I didn't.
That it wasn't.
Yeah, it just something didn't feel right.
When you began to indulge yourself in conspiracies and began to think about the secret societies and the what ifs, it could begin to, like we talked before, poison your mind. Mm-hmm. There's a danger of allowing those things to manipulate the way you think, and the what ifs, of those worlds.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that is important, I'm not saying, the pedophilia rings and the Pizzagate and the government and all that's fake. All of this stuff could be very real, and there's a lot of evidence that supports that it's real.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is we got to be careful and not allow it to consume our minds and consume our lives and just take place over
in that constant fear and paranoid.
Yeah, you can't let it take place over the peace of God and over, you know, the purpose that God has for your life.
Personal little thing, whatever. Yeah, I got really involved by researching YouTube videos, of course, Google, found other forums where I got real deep into it to the point where my wife was like, "What's wrong with you? Like, all you care about is all this destruction and evilness and everything. Like, you have a family, you have a life. I mean, like, be grateful for your life that you have now, you know? Yeah, there may be, like we said, truth to a lot of what we see and we hear, but I mean, ultimately, who is in control? It's God.
Yeah.
God's in control. And of course, we're going to have the second coming of Christ, and if the tribulation happens and all these things may come to pass, it may, and it's still probably coming to pass. But our focus is to, like Miguel was saying, is to serve God, and our purpose in life on this earth is to serve Him and to win many souls to Christ.
Amen.
So if you guys enjoyed this podcast, consider subscribing. You know, if you do enjoy it, share it with a friend. There's some very real dangers out there, so the links to some of the videos that we talked about are going to be in the description. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.